Well, sup, you chuckle fucks? It's your boy Dark Raku here with What If Issei was what's it called? Okay, sorry about that. What if Issei was the White Flame Monarch? Yeah, White Flames of Monarch or White Flame Monarch, whatever you like to call it. Basically, this is a part two after mostly 4 months later. Yes, my lazy ass took fucking 4 months. I'm sorry, guys. Yes. But that's not the point. This is part two of this what if. Am I gonna do a recap? Yes. Yes, maybe. Probably. I'm still quite nervous for my interview tomorrow, so I don't know how that's gonna work out. But I guess wish me luck. I don't know. If you did watch that one video that I kinda like put a while ago, yeah, you can probably understand what I'm actually kinda scared for. Since I never did have an interview. I've been only working with like my dad and other stuff, but any of the other things I was like, nah. I have zero experience in this shit. But not the point. Let me just begin into this what if. Let me shut the fuck up. I'm sorry for rambling on. But let me begin. So let me go into a recap of what happened last time. Also, if you see this kind of picture, it's just me kind of putting in how mostly bad as the White Flame Monarch is. But that's not the point. So what happened last time mostly was Issei Hiro. Issei Hiro is a brownish haired boy with kind of goldenish eyes. Of course, he was a healthy young man who was 16 years old at that time. Now, I really didn't ever mention his age, but he's 16. Well, it's the last video, but not the point. But mostly he was a 16-year-old boy who was kind of held hostage by mostly this crazy ass, like mostly priestess that was rambling on about sacred gears, devils, and other shit. Now, of course, Issei's parents were scared, and of course his father was trying to calm down his mother. But of course, Issei had the brilliant, stupid idea to charge at the kind of crazy priestess. The crazy priestess tried to shoot at Issei, which Issei's luck was great for a couple of seconds before he actually got shot. But luckily, Issei managed to grab a knife that was supposedly wanting to stab this guy in the heart. The instinct to kill, but of course his instinct changed after a while to kind of just stab him in the eye and then punch him really hard. But before doing that, he got shot point blank in the chest. Right now, making him hit, mostly the bullet hit him in the heart. This worked well. He was supposedly dead already. The other person was in jail, but not the point, mostly when the cops came. Issei was taken to the hospital really fast. His mother was crying terribly from the fact that her son died. And of course, his father was also very depressed. But a miracle happened, everyone thought. But really, Issei has now become the player. A player that mostly he doesn't even know what is happening. But later on he would know more about what is happening, but not the point. He has become the player, and of course mostly has learned a couple of things. That he is the player, and he has a system that literally allows him to play like an RPG game himself. Literally, it feels like a VR for him, but yeah, virtually reality, but yeah. But that is not the point. He basically kind of, after waking up, he did talk to his mother and father, and of course his parents are quite overprotective after mostly that whole scene. This worked well. They made Issei go back home. Of course, Issei kind of managed to kind of tell his mother that he's going to go out for a second and kind of just do some training. Mostly thanks to the fact that he accepted being a player. With that happening, he kind of gained some systems, some skills, and other things because his skills, well, not skills, mostly his like points and status were all garbage. And the title that he had was called Opie Lover. Opie Lover, that basically gave his charisma to be like negative 100. Basically, it was suck at just talking to women entirely. But yeah, other than it's not his mother, but yeah, mostly not the point. But at the same time, Issei managed to just get skill points and other things. He also went to a dungeon that he actually met this white tiger that actually became his companion. Basically, it's similar to that of Familiar, but it's mostly like a companion. But that is not the point. Basically, the white tiger is kind of like a spirit white tiger that usually will come out anytime. It's kind of like a baby cub. Mostly, it can just change most of the time, either to a baby cub, to a big-ass tiger. Not the point. I'll mention that later. But with that happening, that is the end of the recap. It was 4 minutes long. Wow. I actually managed to speed that shit through. But that is not the point. Let me begin back into the brand new what if. Or not brand new what if, mostly part 2. But yeah, other than that, let me begin. So, we begin into Issei Haidu, or mostly, as most people like to call him, one of the perverted trio. One of the perverted trio, either loser, beast, or whatever. Now, of course, he's going back to school. And now, not him going back to school. He did went back to school after a while, after his parents finally calmed down mostly from the whole heart attack they almost had from the fact their child literally almost died in front of them. Now, of course, mostly a bunch of people heard about the rumors, but Issei seemed perfectly fine, so of course people thought it was just rumors. Which Issei just wants him to just believe it's rumors. Literally, he didn't just clearly almost died. He's not pissed about it, he doesn't really care that much. His emotions and other things kind of change after mostly learning about the system and actually gaining more power. This worked well. Issei doesn't really give a damn that much. Of course, he would talk to his friends, but his friends are still perverted, but that's not the point here or there. Now, there's actually a field trip happening for almost the first year, third years, and second years. So wait, first, second, and third years. Now, the reason why this thing is kind of happening, which confuses the shit of anyone, but mostly, it's because mostly the administrator actually thought it'd be a great idea to send a bunch of kids towards the beach because it's almost summer. And he basically wants to kind of motivate everyone to kind of get excited for more school. Yeah. But of course, mostly a bunch of people, mostly the guys, had perverted grins, while the girls kind of were happy, but at the same time, also kind of had perverted grins to see the cute boys, mostly without them having shirts. So yeah. Issei literally thought that this was complete bullcrap. Like, literally, Issei saw through the whole fucking thing and thought it was just stupidity in its finest. Now, he wasn't even going to go because he just didn't care. He actually rather trained through the summer because literally school was almost about to be over. So yeah. But when he came back after mostly the little incident, but not the point. This is where, well, he thought that the whole thing was complete bullcrap. So of course he was about to just like stay home, mostly in Kuo, and just train, mostly go back into dungeons and kind of fight, well, mostly the creatures that are in the dungeons. Now, he still doesn't understand how he even can fight these creatures when a normal human can literally get killed in an instant, and he's confused still with the system points and other things, but he doesn't care. If it kind of gets him more stronger, he can give two damn less about anything. But yeah, does it work well? Issei was about to kind of just not sign the paper, which would have made anyone kind of very confused and why Issei didn't sign the paper. Because, well, no one was really paying attention to him. But this is where, well, before Issei started walking, like, to class, because there was a booth of where mostly to sign up and other things, and about a couple of people can actually go, like a couple of hundreds or more, like 200, 300, whatever. But this is where, well, Issei was about to go to class until mostly two people kind of appeared behind him, kind of grabbing him mostly from the back and kind of like hitting him from the back pretty hard. Even though mostly his back feels like they hit titanium for a second. This is where, well, they didn't want to show it, but this is where, well, Issei turns around because he felt like something kind of tickled him. This is where Issei says, huh? This is where, well, both of his friends, his two best friends, considering best friends, but still they're perverted idiots, is none other than Matsue and Murahama. A guy with kind of bald hair, but looked like he just shaved a while ago because his hair is growing back, and has his eye closed most of the time. This is where he kind of has tan skin, and his name is Matsui. While the other one is named Murahama, and he has glasses round, mostly kind of, round kind of glasses that he wears, and of course blackish hair. Does also have tannish skin, and this is where, well, kind of tannish skin, but this is where, well, his name is Murahama. Now, of course, where, well, both of them kind of say, yo, Issei, are you going to the beach and other things? This is where, well, they both kind of grin and smirk at Issei, and this is where Issei kind of says, no. Oh, we know that. That's why we signed you up anyway. Besides, we are not going to leave a brother out from our perverted kind of ideas. This is where, well, Issei says, wait, what the fuck these just two idiots just said? Issei, for some reason, almost snapped in an instant and really wanted to say in his mostly out loud tone of voice, because mostly a bunch of people are actually kind of glancing at them like, ugh, pervert. This is where, well, mostly Issei really just said, wait, what? In his head, like, wait, what the fuck did he just say? This is where Issei said, huh? What are you talking about? This is where, well, mostly Matsui turns around and says, you see here, Issei, we knew that you probably wasn't going to get there fast enough. So what we did is when we got there, we signed our names, but we also put your name into it. When the fuck did you guys show up to it? About like a couple of seconds before everyone showed up. So you're telling me you ditched class? No, we sprinted through the hallways to get over here. This is where, well, Issei said, how? This is where he looks at Murahama. Murahama says, I wasn't fast enough. This is where Issei realized that his friend Matsui used to be a jock. And of course, mostly in middle school. So of course, he had a kind of bit of training still in his body. Mostly, he still had muscles. Which Issei says, such a fucking waste of potential. Issei literally thinks in his head. This is where, well, he says, guys, I'm not gonna... Before he even goes on when basically he's not gonna go, someone behind them says, well, so the perverted trio is gonna go towards the beach to spy on a bunch of beautiful women. Are you gonna also spy on me? This is where, well, most of what's it called, Issei's friends turn around to see mostly a girl with kind of brownish hair. Kind of messy, kind of brownish hair, but yeah. Of course, she also has kind of glasses, and this is where she has hazelish eyes. This is where, well, her clothing seems to be kind of a little bit tight enough to kind of see a little bit about her body, but not much. This is where, well, both of the guys say, ew, we're not gonna do that. This is where, well, he sighs and says, I really need new friends. He really just thought that in his head, like, these guys are just idiots. This is where someone in his head says, you know, I can always just chase them down and make sure that they will never become perverts ever again. Issei thinks in his head, saying, no, Tigre, I know it's a good idea to do that, but no, I'm sorry. I know it's very joyful for you to kind of go terrorize my friends, because I would also love to see that, but I don't want you to do that. I don't want you to reveal yourself just yet. Okay, but you know, I can always do it. Tigre, I know, or mostly he calls this tiger, mostly his a companion called Blanco, either Blanco, Tigre, or what they actually just mean is either white tiger or even Shiro. But yeah, that's not the point. That's what I'm gonna basically call the tiger, Tigre or Blanco or Shiro, whatever you like to kind of pick out. You can pick out which one ever, but that's not the point. I'm kind of basic like that. I don't give a damn. Now. This is where, well, Issei sighs and says, no, Tigre, it's just fine. You see here, I don't want to do that. This is where, well, mostly Issei gets out of his mindscape, well, mostly talking with Tigre, and this is where, well, mostly Aika was kind of like snapping her hands in front of him, and this is where, well, Issei said, huh? What happened? This is where, well, Aika says, you know it's time for class and your friends already left after, well, mostly me kind of measuring their kind of, you know what? This is where, well, he says that, right, sorry, I guess I blinked out of for a second. What were we talking about again? This is where I could just switch up, and mostly Issei. This is where, well, she then smirked and said, oh, you know, just to see what kind of size you have. This is where, well, she was about to look down until Issei said, huh, size, whatever. You can go mess with them. I am gonna go towards class. This is where, well, Issei turns pretty fast enough. And he wasn't doing this on purpose. He was just very tired. And really didn't pay attention to Aika too much. And didn't really care too much. This is where, well, mostly Aika's just kind of in her eyes. But notice something strange. Around Issei seems to be some kind of white mist. Until mostly she thought that for a second she saw a white tiger appear around Issei, literally just kind of glaring at her with a murderous look. But then it disappears in an instant, which confused the shit out of her. But this is where, well, she then kind of wonders what the hell was that. This is where, well, she can't feel any magical energy from Issei entirely. She is somewhat knowing about the supernatural, but mostly she doesn't know if Issei is from the supernatural or not. But that's not the point here or there. But we go into Issei. Issei is right now getting to class, and of course, he is not really paying attention too much to his surroundings. He's walking forward, yes, but he's looking at his system stats. This is where, well, we go into his stats. Now, 124, strength. Now, I am just gonna list off some random strengths, mostly strength and other things, but yeah. Mostly his strength is 124. His speed is 130. Well, not 30. Mostly 161. Yes, he's quite fast, but that's not the point. Does it work well? His what's it called? Well, actually, well, yeah, he's kind of just looking at his stats and this will work well. He's just kind of just seeing this. He also sees some of his skills. This is where he sees his class. His class is basically called White Flame Knight, also known as mostly not White Flame Knight. Used to be White Flame Knight, now it's called the White Flame Monarch. Yes, he kind of already got the title of the White Flame Monarch. Well, yeah, the White Flame Monarch, but that's not the point. This will work well. Issei is kind of trying to look and see if he got any more status or anything new from the whole fact that he became the White Flame Monarch. This will work well. Issei said, skills. What to do? This will work well. We'll see Tigre kind of question Issei saying, so, what's it called? Are we really gonna go to that whole beach stuff? I mean, I can probably always just ditch my friends and probably just go into a dungeon. I guess that is true, but wouldn't other people worry about you? No, Tigre. This is where it well, he says sighs to him. In his mind, because he can't really talk out loud because it would look suspicious and quite crazy. But yeah. But of course, mostly, what's it called? Wait. Okay, sorry about that. I thought I had something on my back and it was kind of something, which it was somewhat of an app, but that's not the point here or there. So, we go back into Issei. Tigre kind of just says, are people going to be worried about you? Issei sighs and says, no, Tigre. The reason why they're not going to be worried about me is because of my reputation, which I'm actually kind of glad to kind of have. Because I don't really like people just looking at me and spying on me and what I'm going to be doing. So no, that's not gonna happen. Okay, sir. This is where, well, Issei says, why will you call me sir? I mean Issei. That's much better. I don't like being called too formally. This is where, well, mostly Tigre nodded and says, yes, I know. This is where, well, we go into mostly, well, Issei, well, not Issei. Mostly we go into a time skip of mostly a couple of days, weeks later. So yeah, weekish days, but don't worry about that. We go into 9 days later, and basically it's now summer. It's time for summer, and people were chosen to kind of go into mostly this vacation with the schools and what. Of course, it was a couple of students from mostly 100 students from mostly first year. Not 100, mostly 200 students. Not 200. Mostly, yeah, it was 100 students from the first year. 100 students from the second year and 100 students from the third year. This worked well. Mostly around them there would be, well, mostly it was kind of 25% of male population of the first years, with mostly still the dominating kind of fact to be 75%. Still in the second years there wasn't too many males, 15% to like mostly having like 90, almost 85 entirely percent. And with the last one kind of just having 5% males, literally not that many, and like a couple of mostly still being dominated females. But yeah, this worked well. The males were happy, while the females were kind of happy because there's some actually cute boys. But yeah, while Issei was just like caring less. Now, the vacation actually took place on a fucking island. That's when Issei right now almost snaps in an instant. Like, what the fuck? How the hell did this school manage to afford what again? Yes, Issei was kind of just dumbfounded. Very stupefied in this whole situation. Now, this island wasn't too small. It was actually pretty big. It was almost the same size as Hawaii, but a little bit bigger. But that's not the point. Mostly, it was a vacation place for mostly a bunch of students. And yeah, of course, there was buildings and hotels. And don't worry about the other stuff. This worked well. People were happy. They actually also saw the beach. And the beach was big enough for mostly, yeah. Of course, lots of people did pack up for this whole stuff. While Issei can literally pack up for his shit, but he actually puts in his inventory. So basically, he basically seems to only have like a backpack, and that backpack basically just had like some money and some other shit, but not the point. This is where, well, basically his friends, mostly Matsui and Murahama, were basically packed up to the brim and basically had camera stuff and other shit, which Issei sighed and didn't really care. Of course, Issei also had stuff in his backpack like extra pair of headphones, maybe just in case his others kind of break, because he does have like these black kind of beat headphones like near his kind of neck right now. Of course, it's right now kind of plugged in by kind of Bluetooth towards the phone, but that's not the point. He also has another extra, well, mostly 2 extra pairs, just in case he doesn't want to listen to this bull crap. And also, he has earbuds, but that's not the point. He has like 2 extra sets, but that's not the point here or there. This is where he also has 2 extra phones, just in case he wants to listen to music, and maybe one of them died when he's in the middle of the dungeon exploring, but that's not the point. Maybe he can get a dungeon in, what's it called, the island. Maybe it's a sea dungeon now that he thinks about it. It would be kind of interesting to see it, but that's not the point here or there. This is where, well, he also has, what's it called, well, chargers and other shit. He also did bring his, what's it called, mostly an Xbox station towards mostly his backpack, with mostly in his inventory, but that's not the point here or there. Just in case he just gotta play in, what's it called, mostly he's going to probably play in the hotel if there's actually a fucking TV. Which if there is, he's gonna plug that shit in and literally start playing, but way out of care in the world, but yeah. Now, we go into mostly, well, a kind of, well, people getting off the plane, because they were kind of on the plane. And, well, some of them kind of went on a cruise ship, while some of them went on a plane, but yeah. This is where, well, most of the girls are just happy and glad and being here and other stuff, while the guys were ready. This is where, well, including Matsui and Murahama, they were there next to the other guys. While Issei was kind of nowhere to be found. Literally, Issei kind of just blended somewhat in with everyone. He was wearing a grayish kind of trench coat. Not gonna lie, he was actually wearing a grayish trench coat, kind of a grayish shirt, and right now wearing kind of a grayish kind of like mostly mask that kind of covered his face up. And this is where he was just walking in beside everyone. He was also having a hat, but that's not the point. He looked like he was some janitor working in the whole fucking place. But he wasn't even. He just doesn't want to get spotted at all. While mostly Matsui and Murahama were too distracted and mostly all the perverted things they were going to do, they did not even notice Issei just walked past. Already went to go get his like hotel kind of mostly like floor number or whatever bullcrap. He could probably text what's it called, Matsui and Murahama, the fucking number. Probably. Or he can probably just get one by him fucking himself and not give a damn about anyone else. But yeah. But that's the point here or there. So, of course, this is where Issei kind of like goes up towards mostly the highest number of what's it called, like the floors. And just so he can get away from everyone. This is where, well, he kind of questioned the person and how many rooms will be here before like the whole, what's it called, student count be here. This is where, well, the person says it might get full entirely. So some people might have to share. What kind of room would you like to get since it's the first? Do you want one in the top? You might get crowded with other people. Issei sighs and says, is there any other fucking places where I can just chill without I care with other people? There's other motels and hotels where you will have to pay that. This is where Issei says, I'll pay for that, I don't care. This is where, well, Issei started walking away. And this is where, well, Issei was about to fully walk away until someone actually noticed him and before he actually walked away. This is where, well, someone actually grabbed onto his arm because, well, the person, for a second thought that this person was mostly a worker in, what's it called, the place, like a probably worker or something, like a janitor or something. This is where, well, it was none other than Sona. But when Sona turns Issei around, this is where Issei now has eyes. His goldenish brown eyes, yeah, goldenish brown eyes with, what's it called, mostly his hair kind of being kind of covered by his hat. But this is where, well, Sona still noticed that who exactly this person is. Which kind of frowned in an instant because she wasn't expecting to see one of the perverted trio kind of just walking away without any silent, like, burst out loud noise or anything. He was quite silent. Which she never heard eyes, and this is where, well, she then kind of stood up straight, and this is where she then asked, what is Issei doing? This is where, well, Issei narrowed his eyes, and this is where he then thinks of something. This is where Issei said, I was going to the bathroom. This is where Issei pointed towards Mosi. Down the hallway, literally, there's a bathroom sign. This is where, well, Mosi Sona nodded dumbly. This is where Sona says, then where are you going after that? Weren't you the first one here? Yeah, but I had to use the bathroom. Do you not see me wanting to use the bathroom more than that? This is where, well, Mosi Sona nodded dumbly. This is where, well, she doesn't know what Issei did, but whatever. This is where, well, she then goes on with the whole kind of numbers and how everyone is kind of being put in, but yeah. This is where, well, Issei literally went to the bathroom, but went into another hotel. Literally another huge-ass hotel. This is where Issei walked in. This is where one of the persons says, are you a student from Mosiko Academy? Issei says, hell nah. I'm just a, how should I say, a child. Well, Issei did kind of change his appearance a little bit to being that older. Well, kind of a little bit older, but not that older enough. This is where, well, the person, well, not, she did kind of question if he was from Kuo, but mostly Issei kind of said, nope, not from Kuo. I'm just here to see the vacation, the beauty of this place. Literally, Issei bullcrap his way through. But this is where, well, the person nodded and says, what room would you like to have? Because we have 81, we have this and that. Also a 100. And this is where, well, Issei says, let's see. I'll take 81. This is where, well, the person nodded, gave him the keys. And this is where Issei walked away because he did pay. And of course, it did cost him a lot, but he was kind of rich as fuck. This is where, well, not the point in how he became rich. And mostly it was through the system, but that's not the point here or there. This is where, well, Issei gets to his fucking room, relax, because it's pretty tall, kind of taller a little bit than the other hotel that mostly everyone else would be at and kind of crowded. And he didn't give a damn too much. His room was spacious as fuck. There was 3 beds entirely, which most of his friends could have been with him. But he doesn't trust them entirely. So, of course, well, he was just like, well, fuck it. This is where, well, Issei was kind of just sitting on the bed, kind of laying down. And this is where Tigre kind of comes down and says, what's it called? Well, Issei. This is where, well, Issei says, yeah, what do you want, Tigre? Tigre was laying on the other bed. And this is where, well, Tigre then says, so, are we going to go dungeon hunting later on? Probably at night or where? Probably when the whole vacation starts, I will go dungeon hunting. Probably either if I have to go into the water, it'd be a pain in the ass, but still, I don't care. I'll probably just take some exercise and getting into the water, but that's not the point here or there. Are you not going to enjoy yourself just like the others? What do you mean, like the other students? Hell no. I didn't even want to go into this damn vacation. It was just because of my idiotic friends decided to go on the vacation. Truly, entirely, I don't even feel like going on there. But, yeah, I'm here. I gotta train harder to definitely become the strongest. But, yeah, other than that, I'm just gonna be training like hell. But, yeah. Okay. But, isn't it better to rest or something? This is where Issei said, Tigre, you've been my companion for a while. But still, I know that you're worried about me, but don't worry about this. I'll be fine. I don't really care about, what's it called, having fun. I grew up after a while ago. You already do know my story and other things and why I grew up way too fast. Tigre understood, and this is where he nodded and just decided to lay back down in the bed. Now, before I go on with something, I should also mention that Tigre, the white tiger, is actually, what's it called, a male tiger, but not the point. I only wanted to mention that just so people get pissed off later. But that's not the point here or there. Now, Issei is kind of just like, mostly laying on the bed, waiting until the sunrise goes down. Which he managed to go down, but this is where before he goes to sleep, he gets a phone call out of a annoying kind of coincidence. He then answers the phone, and this is where, well, mostly, what he hears in the other side is mostly, well, someone who's actually a female, and this is where, well, Issei kind of looks at the phone number, notice it's actually his friend calling, but still it's a female voice. Issei just doesn't say shit. This is where, well, this is where the person says, hey, you're Issei, right? This is where, well, the voice seems to be sinister and kind of sweet at the same time, and this is where, well, Issei kind of ignored this bitch entirely, and this is where, well, Issei was about to hang up in an instant just to kind of ignore this bitch. But this is where, well, the person says, either someone decides to pick up this phone and this isn't Issei, or this is Issei and he's just staying silent. So I want to know, Issei-kun, where exactly are you? This is where, well, this is where Issei decides to answer for the fucking one time of what's it called, mostly being grumpy and annoyed because he was about to go to sleep. Issei says, oh, for fuck's sakes, what the hell do you want? Issei said, quite annoyed and mostly seemed to be tired. This other person says, oh, did I just wake you up from a nap? Issei says, no, but I was about to go to sleep. Who exactly are you and why are you have my friend's phone with you? This is where, well, she grins and says, oh, well, maybe you can find out tomorrow on the beach. This is where she had, well, mostly kind of giggle a little bit, mostly laughing like if she was thinking of something evilish. Issei basically hears this, and this is where Issei says, how about no? Issei just straight up says no, and this is where, well, most of the other person on the other side of the phone kind of was winding her eyes, expecting mostly Issei to say, you bastard, I would have not let you, whatever. She was expecting all that. Issei just said, how about no? This is where, well, she then says, you do realize if you don't, how should I say, show up at the beach, your friends will die. This is where, well, she was going on a monologue to try to get Issei to the beach, and all she hears next is beep, beep, beep. This is where, well, she then looks down at the phone, realized that Issei hanged up entirely, and just didn't give a damn. Also, blocked her in an instant. Literally blocked him onto his phone. This is where, well, she tries to ring back again, but this is where it says, this person has just blocked you. This is where, well, the person who was on mostly the phone was just gritting her teeth in an instant, realizing that literally Issei blocked her fucking ass in an instant. Like, didn't give two damns in the sandwich. But yeah, this is where she was extremely pissed and angry. This is where she looks behind her and sees what's it called, Matsui and mostly Murahama right now kind of, well, mostly passed out. But yeah, that's where she says, damn it. Why is it so difficult to kind of deal with these people? I thought one of the perverted beasts would decide to come to the beach in an instant. Then we would probably have more fun. Don't you think, Moriyama? This is where she, mostly this person looks towards mostly somewhere else. And this is where Moriyama, she has a sword with her. But of course, well, the sword seems to be a little bit different. It's a wooden sword, but this is where it changed to becoming metallic. But then back to wooden. This is where Moriyama scoffs and says, I don't need him. I'm not even interested in that person. This is where someone else scoffs and kind of giggles and laughs and says, yeah, right. We know you're terribly in love with that boy. This is where, well, mostly Moriyama's face becomes mostly not purple, pink in an instant. And she says, shut up, Aika. This is where, well, mostly Aika just kind of says, aw, you're so mean, Moriyama. This is where, well, they're both kind of bantering with other people in the room. You're gonna just sweat dropping at this. But yeah, this is where, well, mostly the person kind of just says, where's Murahama's phone? Mostly the person who was basically on the phone with Issei. This is where, well, Catherine says, I have it, and I already tried calling him, and literally is also blocked. He blocked both of them in an instant. I'm surprised that he's not with, what's it called, these other two perverts. I thought he would be somewhere in the hotel, but I'm guessing he probably went into another one. This is where, well, or he's in a different room. This is where, well, mostly the person sighs and says, I would be very surprised if he decides to get another hotel. Actually, I don't even know how he actually managed to afford that. Yeah, that's actually a good question. Someone said, I don't know neither. But we go into mostly Issei right now snoring and sleeping. Num, 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 num. This is where, well, mostly Tigre was about to keep going to sleep, but this is where, well, he opened his eyes to notice something interesting. Something very, very interesting towards his mostly leader. He felt this energy before, but this is where, well, right now Issei's energy seems to be a little bit, well, mostly something is surrounding around him. Right now covering him up mostly like a shield, just in case anything happens. This white flamish kind of shield. Now, of course, he has seen this energy before and has actually felt it from his previous kind of lord. But this is where, well, he was surprised for mostly his new companion, mostly new lord, is Issei, to be kind of similar to the same strength as the other one. This is where, well, he was confused, but this is where he didn't go back to sleep. But we go into the next day, and Issei, he didn't go to the beach. Right now, what Issei is wearing, I should mention what he's wearing, but he looks like this. So he's wearing this, similar to this. Mostly he's wearing blue jeans, kind of a bluish dark, well, mostly it's kind of greenish jacket, and of course, mostly a kind of white shirt, a white t-shirt instead of being kind of black, but that's not the point here or there. This is where, well, he's also wearing kind of like running shoes, but that's not the point here or there. But this is where, well, Issei is kind of just going off, and this is where, well, he decides to pull out a key just to summon out a dungeon. He was on the other side, but that's not the point. He was kind of in the forest, but yeah. He then kind of opens the key dungeon to kind of go in and kind of go grind, but yeah. This is where, well, we go into a POV of mostly Matsui and Murahama, and mostly some of the other guys, from either being first year, second years, or third years, and they literally are passed out. The girls around them are kind of just giggling, but at the same time, it's mostly the whole count of the guys. Well, mostly there's 15% of, well, 25% of guys, 15% of guys, and, well, yeah, 5% of guys, and mostly each year. Being either the first year, 25, the second year, mostly 15, and, what's it called? This, yeah, second year's 15, and the third year's 5. But there's one thing missing about this. It's actually counted to be 24%ish, because mostly there's one person literally fucking missing, and that is none other than Issei. Which mostly the girls are kind of surprised to, well, all girls are kind of surprised, but yeah, because mostly all the guys that were kind of teased by, well, what's it called, Aika, by kind of just telling out their size in an instant, which girls kind of had mostly furiously blushes, some of them. But some of them say, that's kind of pathetic a little bit. But yeah, this is where, well, which guys either just pass out in an instant, or even someone else is teasing them with mostly showing off for kind of cleavage and kind of doing some very seductive kind of poses, which made some of them accidentally kind of cream by passing out at the same time. This is where, well, mostly all of them were sighing because they were thinking that mostly one male would actually take dominance, but really that never happened. Now, there's one that's literally just missing, but yeah. Now, we go into a time skip later on. Issei is right now yawning, and he's going back to his hotel, but this is where he kind of gets stopped in an instant by two people. It's none other than Murahama and Matsui. This is where both of them say, Issei, where have you been? Issei said, Issei really just wanted to say that he was fighting a bear, which is not a completely fucking lie. He was literally fighting against a bear. That's why he looks kind of fucking torn up and kind of messed up a little bit. That's why, well, Issei said, how should I say, I was beating the shit of Cocaine Bear. Issei just wanted to joke around a little bit, but this is where both of them kind of looks at mostly Issei and kind of says, really? You look like you got fucked up. This is where, well, Issei says, not the point, you fuckers. What exactly do you want? This is where Issei was kind of annoyed with them. This is where, well, mostly they said, hey, bro, we're just here to kind of wonder if you're going to go with go with us to the beach tomorrow. Issei said, motherfucker, I am tired. I just had a fucking run-in with a bear, Issei kind of said. And it wasn't entirely a lie, because the dungeon he was thinking, because he was in the dungeon and he wasn't expecting to find a couple of different species of bears. He was thinking that he was going to fight some kind of giant orc or whatever the fuck he was going to fight. But it was bears. And some of them were strong as fucking an instant, kicking his ass. But yeah. This is where, well, it was kind of annoying, pissing him off. But yeah. This is where, well, Issei sighed and kind of just says, whatever, bro. But still, yeah. I'm just going to go to sleep. Fuck off. Issei walks past him in an instant. This is where, well, mostly Matsui was about to grab his arm because mostly he was kind of angry and annoyed at how Issei keeps ignoring them. And this is where, well, Issei kind of says, don't you dare touch my arm. I'm tired as hell. This is where, well, mostly Matsui kind of stops because he felt that demanding kind of tone. But yeah. This is where, well, mostly, Muhammad just looks at Matsui with kind of a worried look of eye because mostly he has never seen Issei differently. But yeah. Right now, Matsui is confused, and why Issei is acting different, but yeah. Now, we go into mostly a time skip later on. Issei is right now sleeping in his bed, and he kind of wakes up the next day. Now, Issei was going back to kind of fight in a different dungeon. Now, when he was kind of in a different dungeon, he wasn't expecting to kind of meet someone else. A white-haired dude, mostly, yeah, white-haired dude, which I should have mentioned there's actually kind of 24.5, or not yet, well, yeah, it does say 24% missing, but it's actually two people missing. That's why it's counted 24%. Because two people are missing. That being Issei and that being another person from the first years. This is where, well, Issei met that other person from the first years. This person had white kind of spiky hair and, of course, bluish eyes. Blue, cold, dead eyes. This is why he was just taking out a literally kind of like tiger right in front of him. A kind of orangey tiger. And this is where he then looks towards mostly Issei's kind of POV. Or mostly towards where he's at. So, of course, this is where, well, mostly, what's it called? Well, the other person kind of looks at Issei's POV, and this is where, well, Issei kind of looks at this person. This is where both of them kind of just looks at each other before both of them disappears in an instant and reappears right in front of, well, mostly in the middle of where they were looking at. This is where, well, Issei right now clashes with two daggers, while the other person clashes with mostly a sword right now crackling with lightning. This mostly looks to be a katana. That's where he jumps back, which is not a katana, it's two, what's it called, tontos that are right now crackling with lightning. And Issei has two daggers. This is where, well, Issei's kind of daggers look like these. The two daggers look like these, mostly kind of reddish and black, but yeah. This is where, well, Issei right now kind of is glaring at mostly the person, and this is where both of them are just kind of, well, kind of emitting this different aura. Issei is emitting this kind of whitish flame aura, while the other person is kind of emitting this kind of crackling, mostly lightning aura. This is where, well, both of them just kind of look at each other and kind of glance, and just kind of seeing in what they're gonna do next. This is where, well, before they continue on, both of them stopped in an instant. This is where, well, Issei, well, stopped in an instant and said, "Hey, who exactly are you?" This is where the person says, "I should ask you the same thing." Issei says, "Well, I'm kind of infamous, you see here." "Oh yes, I know who exactly you are now. You're Issei Haidu, the kind of, how should I say, one of the perverted trio. And, of course, also known as the White Flame Monarch, isn't that true?" This is where, well, Issei winds his eyes, and this is where he narrows his eyes coldly at the person, and says, "So, who exactly are you?" This is where, well, mostly the person says, "The name's Killua. Killua Zakimbo. Don't worry about that." This is where, well, mostly Killua says, "And I am the Storm Monarch." "I see. Well, what exactly do you want?" "Nothing exactly. I only came here to see how strong you were, and how skilled you were." This is where Issei said, "And? You're pretty strong in skill. How about this? Let's kind of become alliance together." And Issei said, "And why should I?" "Because I know that you're still kind of new to the system, isn't that right?" "Aren't you new also?" "Yes, I am." "But that doesn't matter. Shouldn't two monarchs stay together?" "Fuck it. Fine. Besides, I should probably get new friends. Not gonna lie, my old friends are kind of idiotic morons." "Oh yes, I did notice about that. Mostly the population of males that are in this kind of island are quite stupid, because there was kind of a event happening with the girls kind of making seductive poses, and also might be getting closer and kind of harassing you. But of course, is where it kind of made every guy kind of like cream their pants and of course pass out. That's why there was kind of an event happening there. And of course, some of them wanted to get me involved with it, but I just decided to dip from them. And you didn't show up because, well, no one knows where the fuck you are in either the hotel or mostly in the, what's it called, beach area." He said, "Oh, that's because I got myself a different fucking hotel. I literally went to a different hotel entirely." "Ah. Well, can I fucking move in with you? Because not gonna lie, I don't really want the girls to kind of like go to my hotel room to kind of just somehow open it." "Sure, besides I got extra rooms. Just ignore the white tiger that usually sits there." "Okay, fine. This is where, well, mostly, Killua disappears, and this is where Issei sighs, and decides to keep kind of going through mostly the forest. But yeah, he's kind of just jumping, and jumping more. This is where, well, he kind of slips on one of the tree branches, but this is where he falls down, and this is where he lands down on a soft kind of like little lake. Or not soft little lake, he just splashes in this lake. He kind of just spits out some of the water, thinks, fuck me, seriously. That's the stupidest fucking, I hate this rainforest entirely. I still gotta balance everything. This is where, well, Issei, when he kind of gets the water out of his eyes, he noticed a girl right in front of him, having brownish hair and, of course, brownish eyes. She looks into Issei's eyes, and this is where, well, she then turns fully pink and red and screams out really loud. Issei says, shut the hell up for a second, ow! This is where Issei then jumps away because it's just annoying to him, because that fucking loud scream, well, she screamed really loud, but of course Issei had earbuds in his ear, so of course mostly he was confused for a second until he realized what was happening. So of course Issei got up calmly and just walked away, like he didn't give a damn. This is where, well, Issei was kind of listening to music, and the song he was listening to was enough to kind of cover up mostly Moriyama's scream. It was basically the song called, the song is called Kingslayer, feature was called Baby Metal, that's what it's called. And of course it's mostly made by Bring Me the Hazard, but yeah. But of course, this is where, well, Kingslayer is the song that he's hearing, and this is where just walking away without a care in the world. This is where, Issei just completely walked away without even reacting or doing anything stupid, so of course he just didn't care too much. But this is where, well, Issei gets to the hotel, and this is where, well, he did dry off his clothes by using a bit of his flame magic, but yeah. But of course, before getting to the, what's called hotel, two people blocked his mostly way. That being a girl with kind of brownish hair and of course being messy, and the other girl kind of having this kind of like rosé blondish hair. Both of them are blocking his way, and both of them kind of looks at Issei and says, do we know you? This is where Issei says, no, not exactly, I don't know who exactly you are, but I'm out of here. This is where Issei walks away from mostly both of them. This is where, well, both of them seem confused, but mostly they were content for a little bit to even knowing who exactly this person is. Issei knew exactly who they were, but he used his teleportation magic before they even noticed where he even went. Which he's right now in the, what's it called, hotel, but yeah. Other than that, I'm going to end it off here for part 2 of this what if. But yeah, see you and yeah, bye.